Coming up is part 1 of the course from makethattrack.com. As a member of our website, you get access to all the links, presets, samples and loops, and also project files, including MIDI, for all the tutorials on the site. Enjoy this free tutorial and be sure to check us out at makethattrack.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to our Cubase Deep House tutorial. In this video, we're just going to be setting up our project and we're going to be setting up a basic drum rhythm. So the first thing that we're going to set up is our tempo here. So I'm going to press F2 to bring up the transport panel. And over here on the right, we can see our tempo option. And we're going to need to click the tempo button here to unlock it. And then we're just going to drag this from 120 up to 124. Okay, now I can press F2 again to hide that. And the next thing we're going to do is just set up a custom folder so that we can pull samples from it. So I'm going to hit Control or Command and P in order to bring up the media window. And by default, you're just going to see audio and video here, and there'll be empty folders. And what you can do is you can open up whatever folder you want to where you have samples saved, and you can drag them right into audio here, and then they'll pop up. And you can create folders within here by just right-clicking on the audio folder here and then choosing Create Folder. And you can create more organization that way. But I've just dragged all of the files that we're going to be using for this project right into this audio folder. Okay, so for now I'm going to go ahead and close that. And the first thing we're going to set up is a groove agent. And this is just a native Cubase device that allows us to tie different audio clips to different pads within the device that we can use to create a drum pattern within a MIDI clip, or we can use it to play our drum kit within a MIDI keyboard. So in order to get a groove agent in here, we can just right click here on the track window and we can choose Add Track and then Instrument. And for the instrument, we're going to want to click on this menu and go down to Drum and then choose Groove Agent. Okay, and then we'll just hit Add Track. And it's going to pop up the groove agent for us here. And we just have a bunch of empty pads here that we can drag and drop audio onto. So I'm going to hit Control P and open up the media pool once again. And we'll drag 3 samples onto here. So I'll get our kick, drag that onto this first pad here, and then 2 claps. So we got clap 1, drag that onto a new pad, and clap 2. Okay. Okay, so I can now click on these pads to play the audio. Okay, and another thing we can do is play the corresponding notes that they're tied to on our MIDI keyboard. So if I wanted to play our kick, I would just hit C1 on my keyboard and so on. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to use a MIDI clip in order to create a basic drum beat. So let's close this. And I'm actually going to delete this groove agent because I already have one set up. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Okay, and then we're just going to right click here on our timeline and we're going to choose the pencil tool. And we'll zoom in a little bit. I'm just going to draw in a clip of 1 bar. Okay, and then I'll right click and go back to the arrow tool. And then I'm just going to double click on this to open up the score editor. Okay, so now we can create a basic drum beat by using our MIDI score editor here. So if you remember, our kick was tied to C1. So if I draw in a note on C1, I'll be able to get a kick. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw in a kick for each beat. Okay, and I'll do the same for our claps, except I'll have them every other beat. Okay, and then I can click on this and hit Control or Command and D to duplicate it. And then I can just select all 4 of these and duplicate all 4 at a time. We'll just stick with 16 bars for now. Okay, now that we have our basic drum beat written in, I can go back into the groove agent and we can adjust some settings here. So if I wanted to make my claps louder or quieter, I could click on those pads and adjust the volume knobs here. Okay, and we also have a panning option here, as well as some pitch options to the right. But for now, we're just going to leave them as they are. And next, we're going to be working with some audio clips. So I'm going to go back into the media window. And I'm going to get hi-hat loop 2. I'll drag that into the hi-hat loop track that I have here. And if you don't have an audio track already set up, you can just drag this down underneath the one MIDI track that you have, and it will create an audio track for you. Once that's set up, you can adjust the volume over here on the left with this slider. And I've already set the volumes for our tracks here, just in the interest of time, to save a little bit of time. So I have this set to -10, and let's just take a listen to that. Okay, next let's get a little bit more groove in our rhythm by using another sample here. So we'll drag down Tom Groove. Okay, and let's fill up a little bit more space with another loop here. So let's grab clap loop, drag that down. Okay, so by making sure that each of these loops emphasizes a different rhythm, we've created a pretty complex groove by only using 4 clips. Next, let's finish off our kit here with a crash. So we'll go back into our pool window here and we'll grab our crash and drag that down. All right, and that's going to do it for our basic drum beat. In the next video, we're going to be setting up a couple instruments for our track.
We hope you've enjoyed part 1 of this course. To continue, please go to the website and select a membership to suit your needs. Welcome to MakeThatTrack.com. At Make That Track, we provide everything you need to make your favourite style of music from start to finish. Our Getting Started series will show a complete beginner where to start and what they need to do to start making music out of the box. Once the basics are grasped, you can learn how to make the genre of your choice with everything that you need in the process. Want to know how to make that elusive sound from your favourite producer's tracks? Check out our How to Make That Sound tutorials. We take the guesswork out and show you exactly what you need to do to get that sound within a few simple steps. With tips on arrangement, mixing, mastering and effects, you'll have everything you need to prepare your tracks to send to a record label and to play in the clubs. Get everything you need to make the music you love today.